Hey there, Aurelie here from withhisgifts.com. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Today I have another video tutorial for you, and we are going to create this gorgeous card. Let's get started. The stamp sets that we're using today are Lovely as a Tree and the Retired Petite Pairs. The ink colors that we're using today are Soft Sky, Always Artichoke, Soft Suede, and Early Espresso. We'll also be using the Layering Ovals, Framelits dies, the Flourish Thinlits dies, and the Softly Falling Embossing folder. So for my paper, I have my card base here in the crumb cake, and that is cut at 11 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5 1/2. I have a layer of the Serene Scenery Designer Series paper cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Piece of the Soft Sky cut at 2 by 4. I have a couple of pieces of the Whisper White Thick. This one is cut about 4 by 6, and this one is 4 and maybe 3 3/4. Some of the other things that we'll be using today are the snail adhesive, Scotch tape, linen thread, the Subtles enamel shapes, and in particular the Soft Sky. We'll be using a classy designer button, some scissors, bone folder, a white gel pen, sponges, my distress tool, and some glossy accents. We will also be using a couple of flowers that I made. We will not be making the flowers on this video. I do have a video where I show how to make these flowers, and I will provide that link down below in the video description so you can check that video out. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the big shot. I'm going to go ahead and start with the piece of cardstock that we are embossing with the Softly Falling embossing folder. And I'm going to position my piece of the Soft Sky that is cut at 2 by 4 down on the bottom where there are more dots, because that's what I want. So I have my platform. I'm going to go ahead and put my acrylic plate, my embossing folder, and my other acrylic plate. And we're going to go ahead and run this through. Okay, and there is that piece. Okay, so next I'm going to add my precision plate to my platform, and I'm going to grab my pieces of the Whisper White Thick, and I'm going to set those on there just like so. And then I am going to, from the Layering Ovals, I'm going to go ahead and lay down this oval. This is the largest solid oval that comes in the set. And then I am going to nest a scalloped oval in the middle. And what I'm doing here is creating a mask that we will be using for our card. And you will see how we use it a little bit later. So center it. We want it centered. Okay, and from the Flourish Thinlits dies, I have this leaf cluster here that we're going to put down on this scrap piece of paper of the Whisper White. You can't see it, it's a little off camera, but it's just laying on top. We're going to cut a total of 2 of the leaves, and then we're going to cut this here, and then the outer oval will move over to this side and cut. So let's go ahead and run that through. And because I'm using my precision plate, I only need 1 of the acrylic plates on top. So let's go ahead and run that through. Okay, so here's our oval. We're not going to use the inside. We will be using this for a mask. So I'm going to set that aside. Then I'm going to set my scrap piece back down and then run it through a second time with only the outer oval. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab my leaf here. And we're going to set it down and run it through a second time. Okay, so here are all our pieces from our Big Shot. We're not going to be using this inner scalloped oval, so you can set that aside, and I'm sure that you can find a project that you can use that on. We will be using these pieces here, and we're going to go ahead and get started with our ovals. So I'm going to set the other ones aside, and then I'm going to go ahead and lay down a piece of my grid paper since we're going to start inking. Okay? Okay, so the first thing I want to do is grab my snail adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and flip over this piece, and I'm going to apply just a little bit of snail on the four sides like that. And then I'm going to rub it to get rid of some of the tackiness, because we want to be able to remove this. We want it to sit still for the next step, but we want to be able to remove it. So we're just kind of going over and removing some of that tackiness, okay? So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and line that up with our oval, okay? Like so. Okay, like that. And then what we're gonna do is grab our soft sky and a sponge, and we are going to go ahead and sponge just like so. Okay, so next I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Always Artichoke. And then I'm going to grab this lovely pine tree from the Lovely as a Tree set. And my set is wood mounted, so it makes this project a little bit difficult because a little precision is required when stamping this. And you can't really see what you're doing, so what I found helped me was to center this, use my grid lines here and center it as much as I could right down the middle, because then that at least gives me the center that I can line the top of my tree with. So at least I know that it's centered. And then I need to come up and kind of come all the way up to the scallops and centered, and then bring my stamp down just like that. Okay, then I'm making sure to push especially down on the bottom of my tree, because we have that mask that is sitting around our oval, and we want to make sure that our stamp makes contact with our cardstock. So, okay, let's see how that turned out. Okay, that looks good. The bottom of the tree will be covered with our sentiment, so it really does look good. All right, so now for our next step, I'm going to go ahead and grab my distress tool, and I'm going to distress all the way around this oval. Okay, and there's what we have so far. I'm going to go ahead and grab my soft suede and my soft suede sponge. Then I'm going to sponge my edges, just like so. Okay, and there we have it. So the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and grab my card base. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flatten that with my bone folder. It will go around my edges with my sponge and the soft suede that's loaded on my sponge, just to kind of tone it down and age it a little so it matches with my card. Okay, then I have a piece of the Serene Scenery Designer Series paper, and I am going to distress all my edges. And then I will distress my edges with the soft suede. Okay, the next thing that I am going to do is go ahead and grab my snail. I'm going to flip this over and apply some of the snail. Okay, then I'm going to mount that onto my card front. Okay, so now we have the piece of the soft sky, and we're going to go ahead and emboss and then ink around our edges of this piece as well. Okay, so there's what we have so far. The next thing I want to grab is my linen thread, and I'm going to go ahead and grab some Scotch tape, and we are going to wrap some of the linen thread around this piece down the middle of it, so that we're going to wrap it around 4 times. So I'm going to put some tape down to hold it down on this side. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and wrap it 4 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Then I'm going to grab another piece of tape and put it down here, and then use some scissors to cut it off. Alrighty, just kind of fixing that a little bit, just like that. And we're going to go ahead and use some snail to mount that onto the front of my card. Okay, it's looking good. Okay, and I did forget to mention that we were going to need dimensionals at the beginning of this video when I listed my supplies, but we will. We're going to take our oval with our tree. We're going to flip that over, and we're going to put a couple down on the bottom, like so, and a couple on the top. And then let's go ahead and mount this like so. Just like that. Alrighty. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab this again. And what I'm going to do is, let's see how many inches, maybe about 11 inches. And I'm going to fold that and grab another 11 inches. And then I'm going to fold that and come down 11 inches. So I'm doing this a total of 4 times. Okay. And one more. Okay. So then I am going to take my scissors and snip that right there. All right, so we're going to take this just like so, and we are going to, helps if you twist it like this, but we're going to tuck that in underneath on the right side like so. And we are just going to tie a bow. So that looks good to me. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab, well, first let's go ahead and, what I did was take my bone folder, hold down my ribbon right down on the center so it doesn't come apart, and we're going to kind of curl like that. Okay? Just like that. Then the next thing we're going to do is cut off some of the length and cut apart, because remember we folded, so cut apart some of these like that. Okay, so that looks lovely. All right, now we're ready for I used the small button, and again I forgot I need a glue dot. Okay, so here's my glue dots. I'm going to take my button and set it right on top of the glue dot, and it'll come right with it. And then I placed my button right in the center of my bow, just like that. Okay, isn't that lovely? Alrighty, so the next thing that we want to do is go ahead, we're going to go ahead and grab the leaves that we cut from the Big Shop, and we may not have to reload our sponge, but we're going to kind of dab some of the soft suede onto the Whisper White. Okay, I think I need to re-ink a little bit. You want to be careful because this is white and we don't want brown leaves. We just want a little bit of distressing, like so. So if you're reloading your sponge, just make sure you dab it off onto your craft sheet that you're working on, like so. Okay, alrighty, that looks good to me. So the next thing I'm going to do is take a pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut off the stem because we're not using the stem. Okay, like so. And then the 3 leaves up top, like right here, I am snipping those. So we're left with that. Okay, I'm going to do that with both of them. And then I'm going to cut these apart. I believe I used just one of the remaining leaves. So again, after you snip the 3 on the top, you're left with that, and I'm just cutting apart one of the leaves, like so. Okay, so we were not going to use that, but we're using these leaves. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and mount those onto the front of our card. So for that, I'm going to use my glossy accents, only because when I'm mounting my flowers, I really want to make sure that they're going to stay put, especially if we're putting them through the mail. So I'm going to put a dab of my glossy accents right in the center of that leaf, like so. And then I am going to set it right about there. So I'm taking my second leaf, I'm flipping that over, a dab of my glue right in the middle, right there. And then I'm setting that one just like so. Okay? Alrighty. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab my lovely little flowers, and I'm going to put some glue right in the middle of my leaves, and I'm going to set my flower right there, and then the second one right about there. Alrighty, so the next thing we want to do is tuck in this leaf. So I'm flipping it over and putting some of the glossy accents on the back, the bottom of the leaf. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna tuck that one in right up there. I think maybe I used 3 leaves, it looks like, so no worries. Right there, some glue. And we're gonna put that one right there. And we're gonna go ahead and grab one more of these. Let's snip off that stem. Put some glue on the bottom. And we will tuck that in right about there. Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and get my sentiment on the card. I have a piece of the Whisper White thick and it's cut at 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. Yes, 1/4 inch by 3 inches. And I have from my lovely Petite Pairs now retired set, we're going to use the Merry Christmas. And I'm going to stamp that in the early espresso. So let's go ahead. Let me test that out really quick. Okay, that is not early espresso. So let's grab the early espresso. See, this is why I test. Because stuff like that happens. Okay. Alright, this is early espresso. There we go. So, okay, I'm going to ink up my sentiment, and then I am going to go ahead and stamp it just like so. And then what I did was I grabbed my triple banner and snipped off my edges to create a banner. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my sponge that has the soft suede. We're going to go ahead and ink around like so. And I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to, from the center on the back, come out on both sides and then come up on the ends on the front, just like so. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do, we're almost there. I'm going to go ahead and grab my enamel shapes. I'm going to grab 2 of the small dots. Okay, we're going to mount this up on a couple of dimensionals. Okay, and then we're going to place our sentiment down on the bottom, like so. And then the final touch is we're going to go ahead and grab one of the stars from our enamel shapes. We're going to go ahead and set that on top of our tree. And there you have it. Super duper easy, super duper quick, and super duper elegant. So make sure to jot down the supply list down below. Head on over to my website at withhisgifts.com and place your order today so you can make these lovely Christmas cards at home. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love the opportunity to earn your business. Go ahead and visit me at withhisgifts.com. Check out what I'm all about and hit me up with any questions that you have. If you've been thinking about joining the Stampin' Up! Family, I would love to have you on my Creatively His team. August is the perfect month to join because your starter kit can consist of product from the new upcoming holiday catalog. So that is pretty awesome. So if you want more information on how to join my team, visit my website at withhisgifts.com and click on join my team and then hit me up with any questions that you have. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed this video tutorial, please leave me a comment down below and give me a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, thank you and have a great day.